What do I think about the Blade Runner Final Cut? Stick around and find out. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Brian, and today we are talking the Blade Runner Final Cut. Loosely based off of the book by Philip K. Dick, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? This was a very interesting movie for me to watch, and probably the first full sort of actual movie that I've seen in a long time. I'm not usually one for movies, but part of the reason why I made the Wraith Reviews thing was so that I could watch more movies. My family is a bunch of film nuts, and I've always been the black sheep in that, until recently, that is. And I've decided I wanted to start with what a lot of people consider a classic. Whoops. With what people consider a classic, Blade Runner. This is the Final Cut, which was released in 2007. And what's interesting is that this is the only true cut that Ridley Scott had final say on. Even the director's cut didn't apparently have Ridley Scott involved in this at all. It's been a huge thing with 5 or 6 different cuts, and this thing comes out. So that's the definitive, according to Ridley Scott's experience or cut of the movie. And what a movie! This is one of those films that I feel like I would have to watch 2 or 3 times to catch everything. But unfortunately, since this is a library rental, I could only really watch it the one time. And it's really, excuse me, stunning. Unfortunately, I only could ever remember a handful of the characters in here. But I suppose that's just because they're the standouts, of course. You've got Deckard, who's played by Harrison Ford, and then you have Pris, played by Daryl Richard, I believe her name is. Where did it go? Yeah, based off of the movie by Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Where is... Oh, it's not on here. Her name isn't on the back here. That's weird. Yeah, it's really odd and strange, but Rachel and all of the characters in this movie are very well done, and I can see why people really like this movie. Like, really like this movie. But it definitely makes sense that this would be the final cut that this is probably the definitive thing that people should go see. And the monologue by the villain at the end, I can't remember the name of the villain at the moment, unfortunately, but the Tears and Rain attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. That monologue was an interesting one indeed. And funny enough, he's the only replicant. No, that's too spoilery. I'm not going to say anything about that. But there is a lot that I can't say a lot about this movie without it being super duper spoilery. But all I can say is that the cinematography was great. It was dark. It was kind of dreary, but it's not so dark that you're like, I literally can't see anything. And characters like Pris and Deckard, they really make the movie pop. Fair warning, and because I didn't see this movie before, I did not see this coming. There are a handful of seconds of nudity in the movie, so if that's not your jam, just letting you know. But overall, this is definitely a movie that's worth watching. If you ever get the opportunity to check it out, I highly recommend watching the Final Cut version of Blade Runner. This is a shorter review than usual, just because to talk about it would be to get extremely spoilery. So I guess this is just going to be one of the shorter videos I've ever done on the channel. Surprising, I know. But, yeah, all I can really say is that for me, Blade Runner The Final Cut, fantastic, dark movie with some twists and turns that I didn't see coming. Very thought-provoking things, and you kind of actually feel bad for the villain at the end. Even, if he's a dastardly bastard. Dastardly bastard, that rhymes, I just noticed. But... yeah, if you're looking for a good sci-fi noir thriller, this is it, man. I give this like an 8.5 out of 10. This is a damn good movie. Now, this was actually supposed to be out on the 31st of January, but things kind of got complicated. Now it's going to be out on the 2nd of February, because I finally got around to watching the damn thing. There's a special Wraith Reviews thing that is going to be coming up that is going to be a spoiler review. I think I'll be doing spoiler reviews as my Wraith Reviews thing, just because otherwise it's like, oh, it's going to be like a 5-minute video. Yay. But on February 8th, you guys are going to find out what I think about the Birds of Prey and the emancipation of one Harley Quinn, with perhaps a couple of guest stars. Stick around, and hopefully you guys will enjoy what I have to say about that movie. Hopefully, if I enjoyed that movie in the first place. Don't forget to be awesome, guys, and I'll see you on the other side.
Do the hand